need alcohol for this.
They don't know.
All right, welcome to Pennsylvania. Shout out to Unionville.
Shout out Pennsylvania.
So, welcome to another Mom and I, Unfiltered. Except this time we have Connor and Megan.
Mm-hmm. And beverages.
Beverages, Connor, good job. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Cheers.
We probably have to talk a little louder.
Cheers. It's fine. I'll be over here.
Cheers.
We had to set up 2 microphones, 2 cameras. This is very sophisticated.
Yes, it is.
Our IT person didn't come.
It's fabulous. Hey, it's all good.
So today we're going to talk about siblings. This feels very weird because you two. Well, because like Mom and I are normally just on the computer, and now
we just
like,
chat.
Yeah, so let's just chat. Forget about that.
But it's very fun to think about siblings, and first and foremost, people think about siblings and where you fall in line with your siblings, right? Pecking order. So I think that should be our first topic.
Pecking order. Yes.
So obviously,
last time
Patrick,
we did minor prep, we should hold up the prep work that we did.
Yes. These pecking
We've
order.
got 3 note cards with 4 words on them.
So it's very legitimate.
Pecking order, relationships,
Are
and
you sure
advice.
those aren't from high school?
And then
Patrick
2 seconds
said
ago, Connor and I pulled up ChatGPT, so we've got some questions to ask.
And first and foremost, you should all know the order of these siblings. So Patrick is the oldest. Megan is the middle child. Connor's the baby.
I know I look like the baby.
Well, and I know I look like one of the siblings and not the mother, but
Connor's trying to get out of here as quick as possible.
Connor wants no part of this.
Well, let's start with this. Okay, if we had to describe our sibling dynamic in one word, what would it be?
In one word? Just one?
Yeah. Somebody's got an opinion over there. Seriously.
She's a lot of work.
What do you have to say over there?
How about one for each of you?
Our dynamic?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's a tough one.
I'm not good.
Solid. Because we don't chat all the time.
I would call that distant.
No, it's not distant because like when I see you, I'm not like,
Yeah.
who are you? What have you been up to?
Sure.
Like I just in the car, I told Elizabeth yesterday, I said, I need to call them like once a month. Because I don't know. Last time we talked was when I saw you last, but I feel like I know what's going on.
Yeah.
Well, we have
Mainly
a
because I
family
talked to
text
Mom.
chain that has about 65 messages per hour.
Yeah.
So
Well, obviously, you have slow memes in there. I feel like it's gotten better over the years, though, at least from like my perspective. Not that we ever had a bad relationship, just like
Megan and I did.
yeah, well,
Connor, well, that's why I said, is it only,
constantly.
that's why I was saying,
20
is it only
years.
one word? Because Connor was always the mediator. You were always right and in charge. I was always the
also
rule
right,
follower.
in charge.
Now
Right.
you're
I
the
always
one who's
held the
right.
rules. You always held the facts, and Connor mediated the 2 of us.
True
And you
story.
hid your money behind paintings.
Yes, I
Yeah,
did.
we would go find it.
Well, you guys used to steal my money all the time. So.
Okay, so that was a bad question. All right, what about this? What's the funniest story you remember about us growing up together? What's like the funniest thing you remember about Connor, Megan?
The funniest?
Yeah, or just something funny you remember. Like when you think of Connor, I think of.
I mean, I used to dress Connor up in baby clothes when he was
She
very
wanted-
small.
was she wanted-
I just wanted a baby sister so bad.
She
Yeah,
did.
I
so
was
you
highly
dressed-
disappointed.
You had like a birthday party and you dressed me in dresses and everything. And I was like, what the heck? You know?
But she paid you in like M&Ms. So-
Yes,
Oh,
I did.
Wonderful.
I
Yeah.
did. I used to sneak into your room all the time and get you out of your crib because I just wanted to play with you. You didn't really care to sleep anyway, so. Or Mom would put us upstairs for quiet time. We'd all supposed to be in our rooms, and I'd always be in your room next to your crib. Always.
He used to do that when I was a baby, when I couldn't sleep. I remember, not a baby, but like whenever I could
12, 13.
Yeah. No, whenever I could remember, I guess like 3 or 4. And he would sleep when you guys were gone or something. He
Yeah.
would sleep next to my crib.
My mom always said that when they came over to babysit, you would be very upset if Dad and I were not in the house. Very upset.
Dad, you turn the air on? It's hot in here. The first time in the history of the Riley house. Sweat.
Extra
Right.
lights on.
And he would sleep next to your bed
Yeah.
at night. Well, I'm trying to think of.
Well,
it was
You
always
probably remember some
funny.
stories.
I know you probably
Oh
remember
my
more
gosh.
stories than we do.
It was always funny. I mean, because of the fact that you were so 3 completely different people. And I go back to one of my first and funniest was going to Disney World. Everybody was so excited to go to Disney World. It was such a big deal. Patrick was almost 10. You were almost 2. And you were 5. 5. Actually, 7 at that point, 6 or 7. And everybody was.
We were
But everybody
7.
was-
I was 2. You were 7.
But everybody was so excited about going, and we got there, and you were all excited about the character books and writing all the characters and running up to meet them. And you were like, yeah, at first you were like, I'm not going to do that. And then you went and did it. And same with you. And then as soon as you saw a character, like you were excited, and then they would get 20 feet from you and you would burst into tears.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah, he got
It,
that.
it was so, but it was just, it showed how different you all were. And then you would go over and like, it's okay, Connor, it's okay, and try and drag into the character, which just made it worse.
Did Mom tell you I found my Lisa Frank notebook the other day?
I don't know
I was
what that
cleaning
is.
out one of the 20 bins.
Anne
and
Frank's
saving
cousin,
up for
Lisa
me.
Frank.
Lisa Frank. She had like all the rainbows and like unicorns and like she put out
She an author?
stationery color. No, just Google it.
Okay.
And I had my Lisa Frank
Sibling
notebook, and in there was
dynamic.
the Disney, all my Disney signatures from when we went to Disney World.
Yeah.
And then I also found a diary, many diaries about the two of you. The
About it?
saddest one was the book
Yes.
I wrote. Remember that didn't even. I wrote a book for a school, and I had like an outline with all my like chapters in it.
4th grade.
Yeah, so you were alive. There's a chapter for Dad, a chapter
Still
for
alive.
Mom, a
Yeah.
chapter for Patrick. But I mean, like he was born, and there's no
Nothing.
chapter for you.
Nothing. You
Yeah.
got nothing.
Great.
Nothing.
Great.
Not even a mention in the book.
Love
But
it.
then if I open my diary, it's all about both of you and all the things you guys did.
I don't want to know about that.
But at this time of the year, I always think about when it was time to like get a family photo, and I was very much about trying to get you all wrangled to get a picture for Christmas cards, and you would
We
always
just had
cry
the
because
most
you're like,
fun.
I don't want to do it.
We hated it.
He didn't want to dress. No one wanted to dress
We
up.
had to swear what I used to call fancy
Do you remember when
pants.
she used
You
to
did.
just go to Sears and get the pictures done?
Hey,
Yeah, either there or
JCPenney.
JCPenney.
No,
It's
those
just-
are fine.
Do you know how
already
many of
out.
those photos it looks like I'm wearing like a collar, like a big flappy
Just
collar?
wait, it'll come back maybe
It'll come
3
back.
5 years.
but at the same
Yeah.
time, like you guys didn't mind those because I always, if we were going to the mall, I was like, okay, you can get something. We will get food. It was the ones here that were like, no. It's like, so all the pictures going back, everyone looked like they were in tears.
the pictures we were in tears?
Yeah.
No.
Not in tears at that moment, but you could tell you had been crying.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like I said, it made us wear like khakis, which I hated.
What did he used to call them?
Fancy
pants.
Yeah, because that's the only time we wear it was like weddings, funerals, and pictures for Thanksgiving or Christmas.
Speaking of, we are sitting in the bad news room right now, so
The former bed.
Yeah, you know
Does
who's getting
anyone
bad
have any
news?
bad
All the
news?
people that just turned off their podcast. This is shit. Listen to something else.
No.
Say word delivery. The news. Yeah.
This is the best.
Bad
Anyway, back to
Yeah.
Subway.
bad news.
Okay, so you always were my go-to if I wanted to play. I just de facto was like, Connor, I'm putting skates. I'm gonna tape some pads to you. I'm gonna tape a pillowcase to you. Stick you in the goal to play hockey, or let's play meat hockey in the basement, or
A lot of knee hockey.
But even before we moved here, I remember living in Rochester, and you would head out up into the cul-de-sac, and all of a sudden, random other kids from the street would come.
They were random.
Well, no, we knew who they
And
were,
children.
but they would come, and then I go, "Can Connor come and be our goalie?" He was
older,
2.
kids older than me. Yeah.
He was 2, and I'm like, "Yeah, go."
I was only like a foot shorter than I am now when I was
But-
two, so.
But they put them all in the pads and the helmet. But again, as a parent, like I feel like I shouldn't have let that happen.
Well,
you
It's
loved it.
You know,
Giants are
I look
different.
back on it and I think we're dangerous. Do you remember when we used to take our bikes before the neighborhood was developed and just ride our bikes into the big dirt pits of the foundations
yeah,
of
we
houses?
went
Just rebar and
Just
jump.
rebar
Next door, I
concrete
remember the
together.
first time I found out what tar was. We were over there. Patrick used to shoot his
Yeah.
arrows from that hill over the house.
I think I had 2 arrows. No, I had 1 arrow, and then somebody else gave me the Boy Scout arrow, and I
Yeah,
lost it.
you'd shoot them over the house, but one time we shot it into them. They were doing the foundation of the basement, and I was like, "Where's all this black stuff?" And you're like, "That's tar," and I think you made me touch it. It got all over my hands.
It's hard to
we had to come back here and like get it off my hands because I couldn't
You
doing
probably rubbed it on your
I just remember like making all those bike courses in all of the dirt, and we found pictures the other day of what it looked like. And in my memory, it wasn't as dangerous as the photos looked
in
that we saw the
Gananda.
other day. No, here
here.
when we
In
made
Gananda, we had that one in the woods.
yeah. For the bikes. That one was safer.
See, we got along until
we
turned
didn't get
12.
along ever.
Until
We
the
started
hormones.
getting
You became
along.
a teenager.
We got along after you went to college. That
No,
was
we
like
got
the first
along
time we
up
got
until you
along
became a
before.
teenager, and then
We didn't get along before that.
yes, we did.
We
did.
fought
Yeah.
tooth and nail.
No.
Not all the
When
time.
we were little, we played,
You did play together.
but we were just very different players.
It was when I came along and you started fighting.
Yeah, you
No.
were
No,
immediate.
we didn't fight over him. Like, oh, I want him to play
fought over him all
this,
the
and you were
time.
like, well, no, he's got to dress up like a Barbie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she wanted a sister and you just wanted to
I
hang.
was really disappointed. I will never forget that day. I remember Mom and Dad telling us, "What do you want? Do you want a younger brother or a younger sister?" And I was like, "I really want a younger sister." And you wanted a younger brother. And I was pissed.
At 5.
Fine.
Fire.
Mom was like,
Clearly, she's gotten
got
over it. Sitting here making a
You
ring
turned out all right,
It's
Connor.
okay,
You turned
Connor.
out all right. I just remember it. So
All right. Let's talk about pecking order.
Yes.
So I don't know why I call it pecking order because it's
Yeah,
I don't really
I've never
understand.
heard of that.
Someone explain
like
that.
pecking order is like the order of which things happen. Like you're the firstborn,
That would be you.
middle child, youngest. Let's talk about the dynamic of it.
Right. And who, like, you kind of touched on a little bit as far as rule follower or whatever. But yeah, that's kind of how how you see yourself, but how the others actually saw you as well. How do you see yourself as the oldest?
I feel like I have to. I don't very much dislike if people don't like me. I feel like I'm a people pleaser. I feel like I have to have your guys' approval still on things. That's why I still call you.
Like mom and dad's approval?
Yeah. Like let them know, like this is what I did today, and they're like, "Great, you're almost 40. You don't need to call me and tell me you wiped your own bottom."
I did it.
Not that I said it, but like I think that's a firstborn thing. Is you want to please your parents, you want everybody around you to be pleased,
Happy.
so it makes you feel like you have to do a lot of things.
Mhm.
And in a way, I don't know if it makes you selfish, but it makes you like very motivated to just want to go do and accomplish things. And hey, I have to go do this first. I have to do that first. I need to live up to some expectation you made up in your head.
But I also think too, with that comes the responsibility of you feel like you have to take care of, like you have to oversee and make sure that everybody's okay, and whether that's your friends or your children or your family, whatever it is, you end up feeling that you have to take care of. Anyway. What? How about you, middle child? Middle child. There's books on middle child. There's straight up books and a restaurant, obviously, in Philly.
I think our dynamic is a little different because I think it's just more complicated because I'm not just the middle child, I'm also the only girl. And that just makes it completely different.
It
I mean,
does.
it doesn't make it completely different, but it just adds a different layer.
Yes.
So I always felt like I was the responsible one. Like when mom and dad, when you guys were out on dates and stuff, I felt like I was. Remember all the quesadillas and food I used to make?
Microwave
Microwave
quesadillas.
quesadillas.
Those were the best.
Guys, I got dinner figured out.
Classic
The microwave
plate.
quesadilla.
Yeah.
I always felt like I had to. I don't know. I had the highest expectations. I did the best in school. I felt like I always had to stay that way. Always get good grades. I was a
didn't
rule
you go to
follower,
school?
you know? Surprisingly, not.
No. I paved the way and set the bar
Yeah.
real low.
Yeah,
for you
right.
two.
I felt like I had the most rules because I was the only girl. But I also feel like I also just had all the expectation of doing well with school and stuff like that because you two weren't doing so great.
Thanks, Megan. Middle child tells it as it is. Or how she sees it.
Yes.
They quickly took my college fund and put
Yes.
it towards you once they saw my grades.
No.
No, but like I remember getting close to 16 and mom and dad not even talking about me getting my license. They were talking about, oh, Connor, like it'd be so I could see him driving around a Jeep. And like you were not even anywhere in your driving age. And I'm like, hello?
Do you feel like you're more independent than?
I'm very independent.
Yeah. I think that's a middle child. I think you're like, you still want and need,
I'm a people
attention,
pleaser.
but you're very independent. You can go off on your own.
Yeah.
I feel
I'm
like
a
Ryan's
people
that way.
pleaser, but I'm not like there's a limit to it where I'm just like, no.
But you're also very nurturing. You're
Yeah.
nurturing, but that's the female part. Maybe not the middle part, but that's the female part.
Yeah.
All right. And the baby?
I just roll with the flow. I don't know.
Exactly.
That's exactly
Always.
Connor.
Third child,
Exactly.
last child gets everything they want easy.
Everything.
I know,
No, I feel like you get everything you want. Like, even though you're the oldest, I feel like you're
Yeah,
the
but he
baby of the
Well, that's
family
because I'm
in a lot of
older now, and
ways.
they see me, and they're like, "We're getting old. Somebody's gonna stick us in a home. It better not be him."
But he would never ask for things. Whereas, like, so when
True.
I was as a little kid, like when he went to college, when he needed money, he wouldn't ask for it. Like he would dance around it. When you needed money, you went to college.
I never asked for money.
You did though.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't.
You did.
I literally didn't. I am the only one of us though that had a job at 14 and consistently worked
Well, that's a babysitter.
through
Yeah.
now.
I
No,
thought-
I was a janitor at my own high school.
I mean, I got jobs too.
The dynamic is coming out.
It's coming out.
I did not.
The way I
ask for
saw
money.
it was,
I felt like I couldn't ask for money because
Mm.
he was just, here, Patrick's at college. We need to buy him groceries. We need to do this. We need to
I
do
worked at college. I had 3 jobs.
It's so interesting how you all see this.
But you were
Because I
older.
was
Here's the
here
thing,
for
you were
almost 5 years,
older
right.
when I would be at
That's-
school and I'd be like in college and mom helped me pay my rent.
right, but I was, that's
It
what I'm
is
saying. I was hearing the calls like you guys were giving them
Versus
college.
him when he was, because by the time I was in school, he wasn't in college anymore.
I was living in my car.
Yeah. Still not.
True story.
But
What he was
also,
getting at.
I also feel like as the baby, like you watched. I hate to say the mistakes of, but you
Well, they
did.
were
You
went to
watched,
Winnipeg.
but
He
you
was the
watched.
king. We all
Right.
saw him.
But you watched how each of them dealt with different kinds of situations, and I feel like for you that was a huge education. Again, 5 years difference, 8 years difference. Like that was an education. It wasn't like you were old enough to be observant.
Yeah, I was observing a lot of things, but
You remember that time, speaking of funny stories, that we were on the road and we were all bickering in the back seat and Dad did his classic from the front
Yeah.
seat. He's like, if you guys don't knock it off, I'm gonna pull this car right over. And I forget what kind of turn he made. He was basically gonna beat us on the side of the road. And Connor goes, you always say that and you never do it. From the back seat. Patrick and I looked at each other like,
yeah, because I didn't think he was going to do anything. I was a baby.
I've seen this enough.
Yeah, I'm in the back of the minivan. It's like,
The worst that
Yeah,
happens
bro.
is you gotta sit on the steps.
Still yelling at us, still have his eyebrows, but it's not doing anything. But he did.
he did pull the car over.
He did pull it over. He didn't do anything.
No,
but
he
he got
didn't.
in your
But
face.
he
Yeah.
just was like,
Probably took my CD player away. Or something.
Yeah.
So what do you see? What do you see? You know, there's stereotypes are people pleaser. The middle is like the independent, and then the
Like, get away
youngest.
with everything.
Well, the youngest is like the kind of chill child. Not get away, but like they don't care as much.
by the time I was in high school, like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
more care.
I think those are the
Yeah.
stereotypes, though. But like,
The
what do you see?
stereotypes, but I don't see that through and through. I think for you, is he carefree most of the time? My father always said he was the most
Content.
content man he'd ever met in his life, and I do believe that. Connor really doesn't want for anything.
Yeah.
But I also don't think it's because he was given it all. I think it was because that's just who he
He
was.
had to be very easy.
He had to be flexible. When he was born, like you guys were in activities.
Mhm.
He had no time to pitch a fit.
Life in the minivan.
Yeah, it was kind of like, I'm sorry if you're having a crap day, but we gotta go. And so off we went. So I think for him, like he still has challenges, he still has, things he has to deal with, but I don't think that he gets freaked out by them. He just doesn't. I think for you, you see the world as very much the middle child, I think, and more woman. I just think you're more nurturing than you think you are sometimes, but you're also very organized. And you
You should see your office.
Don't give me such the office.
Not good.
No, it's super
Oh,
organized.
He came in and he goes, this is really organized.
Yeah.
Because you have to be. You have no choice but to be. But it's also interesting because we were talking last night about, as far as personalities and you're so much like Dad. We said it from the beginning. You're very much like Dad. You see things in a certain way, and you're very analytical about them. And the emotional side is there, but you more have a tendency to go, okay, here's an issue, let's deal with it, and let's just move on. You're very much the I want to make sure everybody's happy. Like, I just need to make sure that everybody's like doing what they need to be doing, and if they're not, what can I do to make that better for them? At 100%. But again, that's just, I don't think that's old, just child. I just think that's who you've always been. Just making sure that everything runs smoothly. Although again, I go back to when the two of you were small and you would battle it out, and I'd make you sit on the stairs watching everybody play outside. And the two of you at that point would be like, almost like, we're gonna just kill her in her sleep. We're just like, how dare she? Because they would talk to each other. You don't know. Just move. You move down the step. I'll move up a step.
Yeah.
So that you'd start like, I'd put you on one step and this step, and by the time the 10 minutes was up, you were like sitting next to each other in the other steps, watching everybody play outside, and basically decided that I was the worst mother on the planet. And my response was always, write a book about it.
That's when the meme face came into play.
Oh, I used to call my high when I put in my bun in my hair.
But when you would be in
Get all
trouble
rest
on
your
the steps
teeth.
and you'd be carrying the laundry baskets up the steps and stuff, and you'd look at us, like we'd be whispering on the steps, like, and then you'd start coming, like, Mom's coming, like, and then you'd give us that look on the staircase, and we're like, no, she's gonna kill us.
I love that look. I worked hard for that look.
Yeah. Well, once he went to college, you and I would joke about by the time I was feeling more confident about like giving them shit back, but
Yeah.
she would yell us through teeth and you're like,
Through
that's not really threatening.
Stop
You're kind of like, what's she doing?
You got candy in there?
Yeah,
Lift it up.
it's not threatening. It's kind of like, what are you saying?
I'm grinding my teeth. It was never easy, but again, it was. Dad traveled a lot for work. He had a lot going on, and even though I worked nights or whatever, like I was the one who was saying, "Okay, we got all these activities we got to get to. Let's make it happen." And we did it. We did it, and I'm proud of each of you. You've come a long way in your worlds, a long way, and it's impressive. Very, very proud of each of you for all of your accomplishments.
All right, so let's talk about the relationships. Talk a little bit about that. How have they changed? We talked a little bit about how, like, I think we were closer, and then we bickered, and then we got a little better.
Just like you in secret. I don't know.
Then we
All
went
my
to school.
diaries are very evil about you.
It wasn't secret. I knew.
There was no secret.
I saw you twice after college, like outside of his house.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I think that we're at this point in time where there has changed. And it's been the last couple of years. But for me, I feel like now that I'm older and I have them, and I'm looking at them and I'm thinking,
And by
by them, I mean
children.
2 children. Like, I want them to get along because I know I'm not going to be here forever, and someday I want them to have that, if nothing else. There's 2 of them, not 3 or 6, 7, 8. I forget how many.
I was one of 7.
I got it. It was the second. 2 out of the 3.
So
Six,
that was an
8,
extra.
12,
Hanging out
I don't
somewhere.
But I want that, and so I'm also like, well, I have to do that too. And then part of me is also like, well, why haven't I been doing that? So like, I want to talk to Connor more, and so I've
You guys
started
have a
liking his
secret
Instagram
relationship
things he sends
that
me.
What did you say?
I said I started liking his Instagram
Oh,
things,
yeah.
mostly because Elizabeth sends them, and I never check, and now I have to check.
Oh.
But like, and I wanted to check on you the other day. Like,
Yeah.
I think for me, I feel like that part of me has changed because now I'm like, okay, I'm not gallivanting around the world and doing all these fun things, and Elizabeth and I are traveling. Now I'm like, okay, I have stuff to do, and there's other people I should be talking to more that I want to talk to more. And I feel like for me, that's where I'm at. It's like I'm kind of at this Pop over the fence and
I think with any relationship in any of your life, and I mean, it takes work. I don't care if it's a marriage. I don't care if it's siblings. I don't care if it's friends. It's you have to give it a priority. You have to. And we all know people who may have been in and out of our lives over the years where I have a tendency to be that person. If I don't reach to them, I don't hear from them.
Yeah.
Because that's not who they are. They may value me, but they aren't where you are in thinking, I need to make a point of doing this.
It's like most people we all know, though, for some reason. Like we always are the ones reaching out.
Yeah. But I like that about your personalities because that's
Yeah, but I think we
very
get that
telling.
from you because there's I don't know, I just feel like that's not like that's like something you learn. That's not something you just have.
I believe yes.
Yeah,
I
I was gonna say,
definitely think that. But you're showing it that people in your life mean something to you. That there's a priority there that's like you said, it's taking 5 minutes. I don't even care if it's a text message. I don't care if it's a note card in the mail or whatever, which I know no one else does.
note card in the
mail.
I was going to read this aloud to you on the phone, but instead I've sent you this
Note
note
card.
Well, I found that I'm
I know.
very good at writing letters and not mailing them. Because as I've been going through all those bins, I keep finding all these letters I wrote to people, and I put them in envelopes with their names on the front. But then I would have stamps on.
Still haven't gotten
Is it all hate mail against
No,
me
it's
after
all-
wrote diary entries?
No, it's all
Here's
like
a photo of you sleeping.
letters
Let it
to
down the
friends and teachers and all these things that I wrote, and then I probably didn't have their address, and so I just never mailed. But I used a lot of stamps.
That's wild, though. But no, I think you're right. But that's part of growing older and looking around and seeing, what do I want to do? I do want to be closer to. I do want to be closer to. And for me, in losing a couple siblings, you do them. You kind of go, oh. I was very fortunate. I had a really good relationship with all of them. But it does make my younger brother Michael and I that much tighter. And it's on purpose. Like we talk to each other on purpose once or twice a week now. But before, we probably didn't. I would see him when I needed to, or talk to him when I needed to about things with mom and dad or whatever. But now it's much more. We have both found value in that. It's like, well, there's only like a couple of us left. We got to make the most of this, and that's true.
Yeah. I feel like you guys have always had a strong relationship because you're the boys.
I think boys are just different than girls. Like my buddies and I too, like we don't talk. Maybe like once a year we send each other a message, and then we see each other and we act like we spend 10 minutes catching up and we're fine. I think that's just a guy thing.
Yeah, it's just any guy basically.
Yeah.
So I think that part of it
But I
also
think
is
So
like
our dynamic was different too because he's 8 years older than me. So
Yeah.
when he got his license, I was like, "Bring me to Toys R Us," because I was a little kid, and I was like, "That's what you do in cars, is you go to toy stores." And he was probably like, "No, I want to go like drive around."
No,
with
you
friends
guys
and
used to
stuff."
go on snack trips.
Well, yeah.
You guys would go to Landhope
We
and
still do.
come home with orange crush
They-
soda.
You
and-
used to call it eating like fat boys. That's what they would. Today we're gonna eat like fat boys.
Yeah, we're not good influences on each other.
No, but you guys would be outside putting all the funniest was like the lights on Patrick's car underneath. It was like a
The
Civic.
interior.
I remember that. Exterior illumination.
Yeah,
There was also interior illumination.
Yeah. Or his subwoofer in the Civic. Yeah, it was like car stuff, listening to music, street racing people.
I saw a picture the other day. I was looking at pictures of Maddie when she was little, and you and I were going somewhere, and you look like you're 12. We were at the beach, I think, and we were driving around the car. You had the big grin on your face.
Oh, was that the blue
I
Civic?
think so. I think I just like taking you around because you would
Yeah.
get so excited.
Well, we would rip. That was
That's
Outer
a
Banks. We would just rip it up and down like the Outer Banks in between.
I don't know that we talked much in the car. We probably
Just
just
listening to 50 Cent.
Yeah.
We got fries.
and our blue lights on.
Yeah, blue lights, yellow fog lights.
But you're right. That's a boy thing.
It's a boy thing.
It's a
Yeah.
boy thing.
It's different.
Yeah.
But I feel like
We
you
got
and I
coffee
were
this
close.
morning.
We did. I feel like you and I became closer after he was in college, and I guess maybe when I was in school.
Once I got out of the way and stopped taking them everywhere.
Well, yeah, no, when you were, that's what I'm saying. We had different dynamics.
Yeah.
'Cause, like, obviously, I was young when he was still in high school, so I tried to hang out with him and then, like the boys, but like obviously he's 18 and I'm 10 at the time.
Well, yeah, and it was different though because he was 3 years older than me,
Yeah.
and he never wanted me to hang out with him and his friends. He'd be like, "Get away! Do not hang out with me and my friends." Versus you're 5 years younger, but and I don't think I ever hung out with you and your friends, but like,
Not my friends.
no, but we just got along better. I don't know.
It was
We
different,
just-
yeah. Like I became like his friend's errand boys because I just wanted to hang out with them. So they're like, go break into Megan's room and tell us what she's doing, or like, we need some more.
we need
Probably
more
beers.
snack
We told you
money.
there were sodas. there were beers, but then yeah, with you, like it was. I tell Hannah this all the time. Like we would watch like girly shows. Like Hannah's watching Gilmore Girls right
Yes.
now. Like I watched all
You
that.
watch
like,
Gilmore
Megan,
Girls with me,
yeah,
yes.
she was like, we're watching this. I'm like, I guess I'll watch because I have nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Or yeah, like if your friends came over, you dressed me up in dresses, and I'm like, what the heck are we doing? Like, come on, when's Patrick coming home?
And it was also, I think, when he stepped out of the picture and was at school, you then had each other to roll your eyes out about dad night.
yeah.
You know, it was easier to have somebody to go, oh my
Well, that's like we were saying last
What
night.
is wrong with
It got to a point, you weren't here yet. I was like, it got to a point in high school where I was doing math, and Dad was like, I don't know this. He's like, finally at the point where he didn't know, he's like, ask Megan.
Yeah.
And then you would help me with that because obviously, we talked about school earlier. You were the best at that, whereas they were celebrating my C's and C pluses that I did. They were going to
It was
Applebee's.
a plus
Versus,
minus
I
C.
remember hiding a report card from them for an entire summer. Do you remember that?
No.
Because I got a
You had a
C.
C.
Yeah, I had a C. I forget what it was in physics or something.
But we're not those people.
But I hid my report card the entire summer. And then Mom was like, you just signed some
Could've
form
been going
that
to
they sent
Applebee's.
you in the mail.
Yeah.
And she's like, Megan, did they ever send you your report card? And I was like, about that.
Oh, you guys missed out because by the time I was in high
Oh,
school,
yeah.
they could just log in and see mine. And I'd come home and Dad would be like, "Did you get your grades back?" And I'd be like, "I forgot the password." Well, they have their own password. And I was like, "Yeah, you got like 3 Ds, 1 C though."
But he's trying. My whole thing on report cards, and again, this is totally off topic. My thing about report cards was, I don't care what that letter says. If that comment tells me that you're trying your best, I'm good. But if I see, the C and they're going, he's not turning in homework, he's not doing this, then I get upset. But if I'm like, you know what, he's doing his best and it's a C, okay, that's okay. That Dad and I were different there. Dad was more about.
Forget how we got to this topic.
I don't know, but I feel like our relationships improved, or at least your both relationships improved with me after I married Brian.
Well, somebody else took the brunt of your needs off of our shoulders.
That's why we take Brian out once a year, right, kids? So that
We love Brian.
we can thank him for all of his efforts putting up with
Poor
it.
Brian.
Do you think most siblings have that similar dynamic, or do you think it's different for everybody?
It's probably different for
I
everyone.
think it's different for everybody.
Probably depends on their.
And you had a lot more, so
I
you
had
were
a
kind of
lot
you weren't like the
more.
middle, and you weren't the
No,
youngest.
I was second from the bottom. But you guys are way closer than I ever was with my own siblings.
We were so different
You
in
were, like,
age
way
ranges.
back.
So
Same
different in
thing with
age.
And
that.
also, it was back in
Yes.
the times when people were getting married way younger and moving out.
Back in
much
the
younger.
times.
Back in the times.
I have been.
Like prairie cancer drink.
Back in the times, when you had to pull that wagon around.
Well, now
I'm not allowed to make her drinks anymore.
Right, that's so weird. That one was
That was a good bonding
a wild
experience.
time. That
Strengthened
is a
the
funny
relationship.
story that's not from childhood, but we will not speak of
Well,
that.
that's like adult relationships in terms of like we got all stronger together because we were like just goofing off, having fun as adults.
Yes.
that's more fun.
Yeah.
I was
So
reminiscing with Connor. I was telling him, do you remember when you, me, and Brian went to Sticky Floors? What's the place?
Oh,
Barnaby's in Westchester the night before Thanksgiving. And we ran into
I wasn't.
we ran into a bunch of people from Union there. But we went in at like dinner time. Me and
guys
Brian
had a
just sit
table.
down and we had a table at Barnaby's.
So it's not like
Just
Barnaby's
remember-
thing.
Don't
Okay,
remember.
that's forever.
My memory's gone.
I remember thinking it was so funny, and then we were like, "Oh, this feels weird. We're at a table at Barnaby's."
And now I prefer going to places at that time. 4 o'clock? Yeah, we'll
Let's
visit.
go.
Out by
But
7.
preferably not with the Sticky Floor
Not Barnaby's.
and not Barnaby's.
They're not a sponsor. There's 9line, but you're welcome to be.
Yeah,
Please,
anybody.
like and subscribe.
Like
That's
and
what I was
subscribe.
saying. My beer and Dad's like, you should probably hide that logo so that Patrick doesn't have to fuzz it out. I was
Yeah,
like,
when
no one's
you
gonna
load the
recognize
video,
this
it's like,
video.
is this made for kids? And I'm like, no, it's not made for kids.
No.
Maybe that helps.
Maybe.
Your podcast is not made for kids.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, it's
Did
not
you think
supposed
it
to be
was?
family friendly. No, just making
Because kids
sure.
love this content.
They love it.
Really?
Love it. Love
It
it.
feels very kid related.
Not only kids, but
Miss
adults
Rachel.
don't like it, including
Yeah.
our own
Yeah.
sibling.
He took a nap in our last
Last
night.
night we did a showing.
Some
Not-
people asleep.
He didn't say anything mean. I think it's not his cup of tea. It's most people that go. It's
fine.
now just the.
Wait, you guys watched
Two of
the
your
whole
friends.
thing? For
We
like one
watched
of
their
the half
like
an hour.
30-minute. Yeah.
It's
half
half
an
an
hour.
hour.
Yeah.
Just the middle side.
This one we're
Child
at half an hour, so we're about.
I hope you have a lot of
Right.
just edit
Last-
out all the bad things we've said.
So last thing is advice. Now I don't know if this is advice you would give other siblings or advice that you would give each other.
I think you just take it however you want to take it. What?
So
Let's start with you.
So shut up, Mom.
No, I want you to let's start with you.
What?
You've had siblings longer than we have
Yeah.
siblings.
Yeah.
You've had ups and downs with them. You
Yeah.
live not close to them.
No.
We don't. Well, I don't live close to them. They live closer, but.
I will say, so
What do
it's
you
easier for you guys to stay connected than it ever was for me and my own siblings. And a lot of that
Sending
is
no cards in the mail.
no cards in the mail. But just because, I mean, technology, it's so much easier for you guys, so much easier. And I can now do that, yes, with my younger brother, which is great, and whatnot. But I mean, being able to just have conversations and laugh about whether it's your parents, whether it's other siblings, because I mean that does happen. It happens. It's all bonding and it's all good. Like I just think as long as you retain a relationship, it's important. It's very, very important. Good, bad, or ugly. But the ultimate thing is, and again, even the siblings. I had one sibling I really didn't get along with, but I also knew that if something happened and I needed that person, they would be there for me. And you guys have that. You don't have to question it. You don't even have to say it. It's just there.
I don't know. Now that we know about Meg's diary,
That's true.
yes, said in there.
Let me reveal it first.
Yeah.
I make a decision.
There's a
When I
verb
get-
on
When I
there.
get to
Now,
wherever
it's
she
verb.
needs, I can say.
No, so my advice is just keep that, retain that, and like you said, making a point of reaching out and just tagging a person saying, "Hey, just thinking about you today. How's everything going? Whatever." It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be a huge gesture. It doesn't. Whatever. That's mine.
Sorry, I zoned out. What you
Independent.
The drink's got
Surprise Megan's not over there doing a puzzle over there. So,
The drink's got there. I'm pushing that singing.
all right, let's start with you. You're the youngest. Do you see things? Maybe it's for us or for one person watching. who needs this.
This is just hard.
Well, I feel like I've always been at the I don't want to say the bottom of the totem pole, but being like the youngest, I've been able to get advice from you guys the most. Like, I don't necessarily think I can give advice, but I can take it. And I would go back to a college situation because I remember looking at where I got into, and all of them were out of state because I didn't want to stay here, even though looking back,
Not taking that personal.
no, I just wanted to leave.
All of them were out of
I
state.
was like, how far away
Did
is
them out of
this college?
state.
Senior
Wanted
night,
to
so
get
I
that.
just wanted
Well, the College of San Diego looks excellent.
Are there any schools in Mexico I could go to? Wow.
But no, I didn't apply to any in-state because I wanted to move away, and then ironically I ended up living with you guys until I was 27. But
And I loved every second of it, but obviously.
no, it was
You
a lot of
changed. You
fun.
liked
We
it.
became my roommates instead of my parents because we would
That's
drink.
true.
And, yeah.
That's
So, anyways, I took both of your guys' advice because we were talking about schools out of state, but then obviously both of you were out of college and we're paying student debt. And I was like, I don't want student debt. I don't want a lot of
Oh
student
yeah,
debt.
you
Like,
did
you did
pay
a ton of
$750 a month.
yeah, because you did a ton of
student loans.
private school, and yours was less than hers, but still a lot. So I was like, I don't want that. So
Yeah.
I decided to go to community college and then Westchester instead after a year. But So that was one of the things I feel like I take away from being youngest, like just get advice from all of you, rather than not that I can feel like I can give it. 'Cause,
Hey, Ken, why not?
I don't know, you guys have more life
Yeah, but
experience.
you
Yeah,
can
but
see.
that's
But you see different. You see
You have different
different.
perspectives.
Yeah.
Advice isn't about having experience of like more years. It's just about a different perspective.
Yeah, it's true, but it's also, I don't know, as being the youngest, I feel like if I was trying to give you guys advice, but like we already did that.
You
12
can't
years
give me
ago.
advice on children,
No.
but other things. Cats. You give me advice. You give me advice on cats. I've started to let the cat
Suggestions.
sit on me or near me. You know, I haven't kicked it in a while. So I follow your advice.
Those are suggestions, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
What about you?
I don't ask. This is a hard one for me because I don't like it. I don't ask for advice. I don't want.
You don't want other people's opinions.
No one else.
No, I
We know
just feel
this,
like most of the time when I'm telling you guys
She's probably
something,
just
I'm looking
always
to
right
vent
there.
about it. I'm not looking for advice unless I explicitly say, what should I do about this? Because usually, because I'm the external processor. So even though like you were saying, emotionally, I sort of like absorb everything. But like processing wise, I'm usually an external processor. So most of the time I'm saying stuff out loud, more so saying it for myself so I can like think through it rather than asking for advice.
So we talked about this last night at dinner. Remember, it came up. When a woman will like start talking about things, it's not that we want anybody else to fix it.
No,
It's
I
just
want
we
you to
just
listen.
need to get it out of our system. And if we want your help at the end of it, we'll say, so what do you think? Otherwise, please don't tell us.
Keep your mouth closed.
Right.
That explains why we always got into arguments with
Yes,
each other.
exactly.
Because we always be like, we'll do this, do
Yeah,
this.
and I'm
You're
like,
like,
I don't want your advice.
It's
Yeah,
not-
but I didn't know at that age to say, I don't want your advice, just want you to listen. So, I don't know.
I still get wrong with Elizabeth half the time, so that's okay.
So does Brian. It's okay.
we started to learn the language finally after, well, I've only been
35 years.
30, almost 31 years.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't feel like I have any like sibling advice. It's not. I don't know. I have no sibling
Advice to others.
Write everything in a diary instead of saying it out loud.
Hide your money in a picture frame.
Hide your money.
Hide your money in the same amount of places that your age is, so that your brothers don't find it.
That's a new one. I didn't know it was the age.
I didn't know
Oh,
it was
yeah.
even-
And I'm sorry.
When I was 13, I had 13 hiding places for my money.
Wow. Did not know that.
Yeah. Papa's the only person I ever told. Papa knew he had a running list of all my money hiding places because I told him.
He's the one you trusted?
He was the beneficiary.
He was. He was the one giving me the quarters. So
Wow. Okay.
he was
Good to know.
he was entrusted with the hiding places.
And he knew he didn't do stairs well, so
Smart.
Yes. Well, he was the one that advised me on multiple hiding places because I remember complaining to him. I think you guys were probably out of town and we were at Grandma and Papa for the weekend. And I remember complaining because you guys had found money in my room and spent it on snacks or whatever and then acted like nothing ever happened. And
Sounds about it.
we didn't do it. You never had the money. And so I was complaining about it to Papa and he was like, well, why did you put it all in one place? And I was like, because that's where I keep my money. And he was like, no, that's not how you do this. You hide it in multiple places so that when they find one of them, they think they found your whole your stash and they don't know about all the other ones.
This is
He's like,
coming
because they
from,
won't keep looking.
And
it's
this-
coming from the getaway driver from Ireland in
Exactly.
1940. He's
Yeah.
like, "You'll hide your stash."
it also
Lots
makes
of
me want to go through all the bins from his apartment more,
places.
more thoroughly. Because I
Take
feel like
price,
oh my
shoes.
God, dollars.
Yeah. Wow. And he's the one that told me, he gave me a dollar bill and he told me to put it in a picture frame. And he goes, put this in a picture frame in your room, like nonchalant, casual. He's like, because one, they're never going to take it out of the picture frame. And if they do, they're just going to think that that's all the money that you have. That's like, you put it in the picture
He
frame.
was at $5 in the picture frame of
The
my
wedding.
aunt Lisa's
Yes.
wedding.
Mhm. That's the one. That was from Pop. I still have that actually. It's
Yeah.
picture frame.
I think we both knew that was like a.
Special money.
No. I think we knew.
Was
it
that on
was
this fall?
Yes.
like-
It was.
What's the word? It's like trying to throw us off. So we're like, we're not going for that. Like, we're gonna go for the real stuff.
What you didn't know though was that it was so every time I got 1 year older, I had one more hiding place for my money. Until finally I got a bank account.
I just cracked open that piggy bank.
It's got money now. so
$4
there's
in
that.
there.
That's good.
All right, you.
I think my advice is that just like any group throughout your life, whether you're in college and you had friends you went through some kind of shared experience with, trauma, war, whatever, those things bring people together to mimic. And they always say, oh, we're like brothers or sisters, or even in college, you got sororities and fraternities, and they're brothers and sisters. And they say that because that bond is a shared experience. Shared experience that like you'll always have. And I think my advice is that we just can't ever forget that.
The
It's
trauma of
easy
our
to
childhood.
forget.
I was gonna say the trauma.
No,
Wow, we got a shared trauma.
you can't forget that we came up in the
Same.
same circumstances,
Mhm.
in the same places, with people who love us that made us.
Yes.
Most people have that, some people don't. But like that's what we need to remember to hold on to and like, keep in touch with, and not look at the other person as another person I'm gonna stay in touch with, or just like a friend.
Okay.
It's a person who's gonna be there at the end.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right. I mean, if you're lucky and Dad and I are gone, you still have this.
If we're lucky and you're gone.
No, we're lucky we'll still have each other. But that's what I mean. And as I get older, I see that, and I'm sure people that are older understand that better. But I think for me, that's the important thing is to try to make more time to do stuff together. And I see a need for that too. Like, I want to spend more time with each of you doing stuff. We need to make a priority for that. Elizabeth,
What you're
her
saying is
sister,
you want
like,
to come to church with us.
well, it doesn't matter what it is.
Whatever
But
it
like,
is.
I keep telling her like her and her sister get to hang out. She spent like a month
So
with us.
good.
Whatever. It was very
Yeah.
cool to see how much fun they had.
Yeah.
And so like, you're like, okay, I want to do that too.
Mhm.
And I want everybody.
Working together at Dell together, wasn't it?
That was fun. I want to do that again.
We had some fun. I don't know how our boss employee relationship was, but we had fun.
Yeah, that's fun. They don't care.
Is it weird that you had two of your children live with you and there's an adult not not your third?
No, I found it was so interesting to me. It was very interesting because then I got to see you as adults in the same house and the different things that you do and whether it's your activities or your quirks or whatever it is. I found it very interesting.
She almost had me. I was just too stubborn to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The car.
I was determined. I was hell bent and determined. Like,
He was
I
gonna
have
make it.
to. I have to. I had no choice. I can't.
And you
do
did it. And you did it.
I didn't know it was a choice, or I probably would.
Again, anyway, yeah,
But you
you
did
know that.
Well, the key is you tell them, I think it's only going to be for 3 or 4 months while we're looking for another house. And then you're here for a year and a half with your 18-month-old and
For
your
me, it
dog.
was just like, yeah, I
And your
figured go to my
spouse.
first year of community college, I'm gonna move to Westchester, and then Westchester wanted like $9,000 to live there. I was like, that's dumb.
Yeah.
10 minutes away.
Yeah.
And then they became my roommates. We would drink
That's
together
fine.
and smoke
And
together.
Taco Tuesdays.
Taco Tuesdays, yeah.
The dad.
Anything else you want to tell
I
me?
need
We
to
can
know,
keep
do
chatting.
you guys
but they're
think that
done.
we would be good at a group project, or you would just have an ultimate fail?
No, we'd be good at it because
Well,
Like,
we
you remember
know.
group projects from
depends.
school?
I know that if you say something and I don't agree with it, not to disagree with you. Connor already knows that as well. Connor knows that about
Yeah,
both
you
of us.
okay.
do. That's the
But
thing.
no,
Yeah, because we like getting under your skin.
You enjoy pushing my buttons.
But I
It's the
think
same way with him. Like he likes getting under my skin when we go hiking because he knows irritating me is going to get me up the mountain.
I actually didn't know that until you told me on the last time.
So he was just irritating you.
He was
for the
No,
hell of it.
I was trying to. I have to motivate myself to do
Yeah.
things. So I talk about people who have it harder, and I can do this because they had to do something crazy.
Mhm.
And so I say that out loud, thinking it's beneficial for everybody. And I didn't know that he absolutely hated that
Pissed me off.
until. I mean, we did this for years. And then this past year, he's like, you made a comment about like things you're not saying to him or whatever. And I was like, what are you talking about? He told me, and I was like, I had
Because we were
no
with Patrick,
clue.
we were with Patrick this time too.
he was the motivator.
Yeah, little man.
That's it.
He was doing the same thing you were though, and I was like, I can't be mad at him because he's 8 years old, my nephew. But Patrick's not doing this time, so I was like,
Yeah.
I'll lead, get up there.
That's the youngest child, though. You're just going with the flow. You're not calling out. If I had said that to her, she didn't like it.
There would have been a smackdown.
Yeah. But that's what I'm
I would
saying.
have been on top of the mountain a day ahead of
That's
them.
what I'm saying. Though, we disagree with you. It's because sometimes we do like it in your skin.
Yeah.
That's normal. That's all.
But do you think that we would actually do well on a good project?
I think you would
Yeah.
because you all have your own.
Depends on the
strengths,
stakes. If there's cookies involved, it's mainly food.
But would I be the one that does all of the work?
No. You would all have your
I
own
think you,
separate.
I think I would probably just be like, tell me what to do and I'll do it because I don't want to argue with you.
Right.
I'd have a very hard time with you, and I would have a hard time leading the project.
That's true.
Yes.
Well,
we
that's-
should both leaders.
Yeah.
You would want it perfect, and I would want to make the decision.
And just have it done.
And we-
Which is why when I got to college is weird because I would be paired up with people who didn't want to do things either. And I was like, one of us has to be a lead now. And like, you guys were always the lead. And I'm like, I guess I have to do it.
You're like, what's this like?
But he has that.
You're a manager.
I was going to say, but he has that.
now.
But you have
You
that.
manage people now.
You have
I
that.
didn't want to, but
Well,
I
no,
like the money. So.
no one really wants.
No one wants to manage people. That's why my husband does it now.
Yeah.
All right, I think it's a good place to stop.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Again, proud to meet you. Love you very much.
Well, we should.
That's good.
Sappy at the end.
I'm sorry.
She was kind of her.
I thought one of us was going to rip one during this.
Probably one year. No one's doing that.
I thought that would make it
I
more
thought I think I should
original.
hear my tinkling of the cubes.
Nobody wants to hear about you and take No one wants to.
She still says that. It'll be like Link Long or Long. Yeah.
We talked about that in another episode. Tinkle. Yeah.
Not tinkle.
You
Maybe
wouldn't want to say fart.
yeah. What did it seem
Stinky.
Yeah.
I remember the
Actually,
first time I
made
said
fun of
that
her.
to someone and they were like, you
Yeah,
not
all of
just
my
say
friends
that.
made fun of me for that. They're like, "You say stinky?" I'm like, "Yeah." My mom told me I can't say fart. Dad was like, "Say fart. Say shit your pants. Just say it." I'm like, "Dad knows what's up." Mom's like, "I say stinky." My friends are like, "What the hell's a stinky?"
Oh, it just doesn't sound right to be
They got a stinky.
6 years old and saying, "I just shit my pants." That's
fart.
not okay.
Now it would be a TikTok, Instagram reel.
Do you know what I think is interesting off topic though? I was thinking about this earlier and you had a lot of
Can I wrap this up first? Or
well, can I
sorry.
Let me you had a lot of girlfriends that
We're
we
not here
met.
to talk about
I
that.
know. I'm just saying, here's what I think is interesting about the youngest child. I had a lot of girlfriends that we didn't like. I had boyfriends that you guys didn't like. Connor's only ever been with one person. So he looked at both of us and was like,
You probably just do
I'm
that.
just
and
not
bring
gonna
it around.
I'm not gonna
Again, it took learning from you guys and apply them.
learn experience.
I had boyfriends you didn't like. Well,
No, wait, friends.
no, you
That's how
We're accepting. This is an accepting podcast.
you had boyfriends I didn't
Well,
like,
it's coming out to us.
fun.
Not really.
but I liked them
Hello?
because we would play video games together, and then I would find out they were assholes. And
Yes.
now I don't like you.
You mean my
Yeah.
I not this.
You made good choices. All right, so like and describe. I know we're kind of rambling and it's fun, but
It's okay, I'll edit it all out.
all right.
He's gonna trim out everything. It's just gonna be the three of you in the
The
podcast.
camera's actually not on here.
So, but originally yesterday we were
That
talking about
microphone's
this.
off. The camera's not on.
Originally yesterday we were talking about this, and I forget who Elizabeth said. You know, it would be really funny if when she starts talking, you all just ignore her because she said, as middle children, that's what we
Or
find
she
happen.
said, just to
Quite
start
literal.
cutting you off and interrupting you every time.
That's true.
It's like this, that's why I
It's
started
like when I
like,
try to tell a story.
Right now, what are we talking about?
I started that, yeah, no. So that's why I started like a sibling meme thing on Instagram, so I said, he never sees them. Now he's starting to do it, but
I'll check.
I think it started with one of those videos where it's like, hi, I'm like the oldest child, I'm the lead, blah, 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 and I'm like, hi, I'm the youngest child, and then it gets cut off. It's like, I'm the youngest child, I just freeload all the time, blah, blah, blah. So I think that's how that's started.
It probably is. Just have like last 3 minutes of the podcast.
It's still going. I have to stop it.
it.
There's no camera crew.
So
We got a webcam on a
We cut all
Art.
this.
thank you Thanks for joining
But
us.
is
Thanks
that,
for joining
is that
us.
you over there, the camera?
No, there's two of them. Yeah.
That's why I said you're
All right.
I'm just not in here entirely.
Thanks for joining us. I
Till
hope
next
you like
time.
it. Till next time.
If you
Like
don't
and
like it,
subscribe.
he doesn't care.
We don't know. Nice for
She'll
you.
tell you differently than I did.
Yeah. I care.
These
Have a
rules
good
stay finally
one.
up.
That's it for today's episode of Mom and I Unfiltered. Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned for another episode coming soon. I'm your co-host, Patrick Riley, alongside my mom, Kathy Riley. Have a great day.